What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
What's up? What's up? What's
You
up?
already know who it is. My name is Ling,
My name is Alan,
and this is.
the ICY Scoop.
Ooh, that was
Ice,
icy
ice,
as
ice.
hell.
So, how much as you heard, I know you guys heard of the Johnny Depp case, but we'll get into that in a minute. But I want to talk about men's mental health.
Yeah, it's actually Men's Mental Health Month this month, right?
Yeah, and we have to talk about it because it's not really talked about much. And I wanted to say it needed to be talked about much. There's a lot of suicides high because most men don't talk about their feelings because they feel like if I talk about my feelings, I'm solved. And I'm vulnerable and people can't know that side of me and I'm solved. I gotta hide it. Nah, you gotta talk about it. Talk to somebody. Talk to your mom. Talk to your dad. Talk to your brother. Talk to your sister. Talk to somebody that you're gonna trust that is gonna help you, push you, guide you. Once you talk to somebody, they're gonna know your pain. They're gonna be there for you if they really love you and push you in the right direction.
I feel like a lot of people, though, especially men, like they don't really feel like they have anybody there to really talk to about their feelings, you know?
A
Like
hundred
they don't
percent.
have a shoulder to lean on or to cry on or to even feel comfortable to open up with. And that leads to a lot of men internalizing a lot of pain, going through their lives with that pain and never really learning how to heal from it because a lot of people, especially men, don't get the opportunity to, or they feel like they don't have to, or they feel like it's not necessary, but it is just as much as women's mental health is
Just as much
important.
as women, nobody's like trying to. No, we're not trying to discriminate the women's, mental health, but we're trying to talk about more of the mental health because we always listen to the women. Women's are always right, and in my mind, but men have to talk about their feelings. Men have to talk about their mental health. Yo, if you have to take a day just for a mental, take a day. I specifically have Sundays off. Specifically have Sundays off. So one, I get to spend my time with my mom or spend some time mentally. We're starting my mental for the fucking week that's gonna come. That's gonna come through. Prepare myself. Do my Sundays. I never work. I literally have it just for my mental health. It's really important to tell your brain, yo, this is gonna get better. Better days are coming. You start manifesting, and manifesting is real. It really is real, and you have to like talk about it, push it, write it down. I literally bought a calendar. Me, who the hell is gonna buy a calendar? I bought a calendar and I write my stuff down. I write my brother's birthday this month, Father's Day. I have a court date for a speeding ticket that I'm gonna fucking beat, but it is what it is.
That was that North Bay Village one you told me about,
Yeah,
right?
bro.
Right there
Like,
on the bridge.
bro, how you gonna stop me? How you gonna stop me if there's three cars in front of me and I'm going the same speed limit as them? So you're just like, yo, let me just catch one of them, and you chose me. Like, hell no, I'm gonna take that accord because,
They be camping out there though.
bro, is
They
that
be camping like there's nothing else to
what's
do.
crazier? 2 weeks prior, I got stopped, and I was speeding because I was speeding. He didn't even say nothing. He gave me a ticket. That's how I know I was speeding. Like I know I was speeding because there was somebody going slow, and I was like, "Yo, what the hell? You going like 15 miles per hour in a 40?" So I was like, and there was a car waiting right there. I'm like, "What the hell? My chance of this speeding, and this guy just catches me." Boom, got a ticket. I admitted it. Boom, got my ticket paid. I went to fucking ticket clinic, paid a little fee. Boom, paid less than what it was for.
Yeah.
But this one, hell, I'm going to court. I hope he don't show up, so I don't have to pay anything.
Facts. But back on the issue with mental health, mental health. Well, mental health is needed too, but we're talking about mental health. Men's mental health. I honestly think that there's just a big stigma when it comes to men being emotional, and I feel like even now in this day and age where mental health is so huge and there's so many resources out there and therapy is becoming more of like a tool rather than seen as like, you have problems and you're
Right.
crazy and
Right.
stuff like that. There's still people that they talk down on men that do talk about their feelings. They talk down on men that are opening up. They talk down on men that go through things. They talk down on men that are in a very vulnerable state in their lives.
Yep.
You know, and it's just people like that like you're being counterproductive to the problem, because especially women, I mean, like, I can't really say much because I don't date men, but I have friends who date men. I have family members who date men. I see, you know, heterosexual relationships and how they work, and like I feel like a lot of the times, like, there's a lot of women that don't allow that safe space for men to have. And then that's when the problems arise, because then there's no
They start to hold
communication.
everything in, no communication, but it bottles up, and one day you're gonna explode, and it's not gonna look pretty. It really isn't.
That part.
But mental is really important, and I implement it a lot because I had a court case, and it was really fucked with me mentally, really hard for like at least 3 years, and that's crazy. For 3 years, that fucked with me. I let 3 years go by letting people think whatever the hell they want to think of me, because I went through a court case with my ex. Not name dropping now. You know my ex? You know the case. She put me for a restraining order that I allegedly touched her. Allegedly physically touched her, like abused her. Domestic violence, a restraining order. How was that? Do you have proof? No, she didn't have proof. My case, where I could defend myself. It's making me shake right here. It really is. We broke up. We moved to North Carolina. I moved out to North Carolina for her. That shit literally making me shake, dog. I moved to North Carolina.
It's something that it
really
triggers you. You feel me? Like,
it literally triggers me. Literally.
It's a trigger.
Moved to North Carolina, did everything for her. Like, she did a lot for me. I'm not gonna downplay it and say she didn't do shit for me. We did a lot for each other. Whatever. The relationship was shaky after like 2-3 years. She told me to move too because she felt like she was holding me for my potential or whatever. I'm like, fuck it, let me move. Okay, I bought tickets the next prior week, one-way ticket. She wanted me to leave. Fuck it, buy my ticket. Then the day of, she goes to the airport with me with her mom, and her mom's side of the family's confused. Like, what the hell? Like, this guy did a lot for you, and I'm not saying she didn't do a lot for me again, but I did a lot for her. I took her out of a domestic violence person, like her past relationship.
Yep.
That man used to beat her.
Yep.
And if you know my ex, ask her. I'm dead ass. So for her to do that to me, fucked with me mentally. So whatever, she broke. I'll get to my breaking up part. Me on the way to the airport, she begs me, you know what, I regret it. I'm sorry. I told you this. I don't want you to move. Blah blah. Crying in front of everybody in the airport. In front of the airport, she's like holding me. I'm like, if anything, let me go see my family. I'll stay for a week. If I don't have a job, I'll come back. Bet. She's like, okay. As soon as I land, flip switch. Breaks up with me March 1st. You will never forget that date. March 1st.
22 days before our birthday.
22 days before our birthday. Yeah, literally before my birthday. It is what it is. Breaks up with me through a phone. Not even a call, through text. A relationship for almost 4 years, going on 5. Through text. I moved out of state for you. Literally, I moved out of state for you. I literally took you out of a domestic violence relationship. Literally. I've been through it all. You know that. And if you watching it, because you've been watching my stories and I'm talking to you. I know and I got receipts. But I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not. I'm not.
The tea is sizzling.
So whatever, we went to court because look, I'm gonna tell you my wrongs. And I can tell you my wrongs. I admit.
We all have wrongs.
We all have wrongs.
We all make mistakes. We all do shit. We're not perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. But you know what it is? It's how we come back from those mistakes that shows true character.
Yup.
It's how we rectify those mistakes. It's how we take ownership. It's how we take accountability over those mistakes. Because there's people that literally sit here, do some fuck shit, and then just try to flip it. And it's
and
like,
blame it on you,
no,
and you're the bad guy.
no,
I'm the
no,
victim, and you're the bad guy.
no. And again,
We're not
nobody's
playing
perfect.
nobody's playing victim here.
Nobody's
You feel me?
perfect, but
It
you
is what
feel
it
me?
is.
Like everybody got some dirty laundry. Everybody does some fuck shit. Everybody's made mistakes that they regret, but at the end of the fucking day, own
You know
up to
your
that
truth.
shit.
You know your truth at the
Own
end
up
of
to
the day.
that shit and be honest.
Right.
And say the truth.
Like last episode, have accountability. Really, like literally,
Facts.
have accountability. So went through the court case. My wrongs was I fell in love with this girl. I did a lot for her. So I was like, what the hell? You broke up with me through text? I'm like, what the hell? Okay. Boom. At that time, my great grandmother, my dad's grandma, died. Sold the apartment, gave like a portion of the profits to my dad. So my dad had to move out. So I moved back because I didn't want to move back with my mom. It was me and my dad. I'm like, yo, let's get a place, blah, blah. I hit up a third party, her best friend. And if you know who she hangs out with, you know who her best friend is. She used to be my best friends. We used to, bro, if you know me and this girl, we used to click it. Like she was the homie. Like she was like literally the girl in the group. Like she was my girl. I know they have more history than me and this girl, but she switched on me. I asked her, yo, this is where I'm wrong. I asked her, yo, let me find an apartment for me. I need an apartment because I need to move out because my dad needs a place. Boom. Oh, get this apartment right here. It's in the same complex where I'm living. Here's the information, and it's right in front of K&K. I remember what she told me and everything. Right in front of K&K. It was a game night where me and all of our friends that she knows, we had a game night, and then we crossed the street. She pulled up because she was in the. Dang.
No, you can't be saying those names, bro.
I'm gonna blur that out. Blur that out.
No names.
No names. I slipped, but no names. I'm blurring that out.
Nah, I got you.
Anyways, she pulled up. It's a girl. You already know it's a girl. She pulled up, and I go in the car. I'm like, yo, you had that. Damn, again. See how mad it gets me? Again. I'm gonna blur it out. I get in the car, and she tells me, yo, here's the information, blah, blah, because I asked her for the information. She gave me the information. I'm like, oh, bet. Boom. I didn't waste no time, and I got accepted to an apartment that she gave me the information to, blah, blah. And I told her at a celebration, I DM'd this girl. And I go, look, I got accepted. I'm going to move in, blah, blah. And she goes, why are you going to move in? Like, nobody told you to move in over here. Like, so why giving me the information? Why are you helping me to move into the same apartment as you and my ex? Because I knew my ex was going to be there. That's where I'm wrong. I knew my ex was going to be there. I was trying to.
But it's not the same apartment, though. It's the same complex.
Same complex.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
I wasn't going to be, like, next door to her. I was going to be, like, probably across the street or in another building, but in the same condominium. You feel me? But that's where I'm wrong. I was trying to work on my relationship. I was trying to lose that because she did a lot for me. And it is what it is. It's trauma. Literally, it's trauma. And that's why I don't trust no girls anymore. That's why I've been single for this past few years. Yes, I've been with a couple girls, but nobody deserves the type of guy that I bring to the table. I've been raised with a single mother, and she raised me right. And all my girlfriends, and I say girlfriends because they're the homies. They know that I'm a good guy, and I don't deserve to have the shit that I've gone through. I really don't. And people who know me know the truth. So she put me through this court case. She calls me. This girl calls me, and I have a third party. She was sitting right there next to me while she was on the phone with me. She goes, "Yo, why did you get accepted to either move out or I'm gonna get a restraining order on you? I'm gonna tell your ex to get a restraining order on you." This is the third party telling me this, not my ex. So she's in the middle of me and my ex.
But you know what that was? That was what happened there was she was both your friends. Yeah. She was trying to help you. Then
it backfired.
Your ex got mad at her for whatever reason. And like I understand why it would upset her. But at the same time, is like, why even, like, if you were the one who put that information out, like, yo, like, move into this apartment, like, apply, blah, 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 like, at least be like, damn, like, my bad. I didn't I didn't know that you were gonna have an issue with it. Like, take that
It kind of
accountability.
backfired because I bet when she told her, it was like, why would you do that? Like, why would you make a move in? Like, why? But in my mind, I'm trying to work on the relationship, trying to fix it. Yo, not like come once I move in, go to her house and knock on the door, trying to fix it. No, give it space. Let us move in for a few months, and I had a plan because I was trying to save the relationship. But to this day, I'm glad I didn't save it because it worked. It helped me mentally. It helped me grow in a bit, like trusting wise. And I found out the other news that one of my friends hooked up with her. One of my friends hooked up with her.
Yeah.
And that guy is not obviously not my friend anymore. And why are you looking at my story, unblocked me? Of course, I'm a snoop if you unblocked me. Then look at my stories, and then come to find out you fucking my friend, and my friend says on himself. So it's like that did it on purpose. So for what? For me to find out like it was gonna hurt me, bro? It's been 3-4 years. Just let it go. Let it go. And it fucks you mentally. And literally, when I started talking about the case, it started like trauma, like it started
Some
shaking.
people just do things to be vengeful and to get back at you. Like
Even
they
after
move that
so
way.
long, it's
They
like
move that way.
move on,
That's how people are, bro.
move on.
Like, at that point. But it's kind of crazy though, because at the end of everything, you really get to see who you spend so much of your time with. And people really end up being some people, not everybody's like that, but a lot of people, they play a role.
They
They
haven't have this a certain type of image, and they have to like pertain it. They have to
Yeah,
for sure that image is perfected because they care what people think. Right.
exactly.
And I'm not saying I don't care what people think, but people there's that certain type of people that care what people think to a certain extent. Like,
Yeah,
bro, she think I'm ugly, damn, I'm gonna start crying type of thing.
yeah,
But it shouldn't be that way. It really shouldn't be that way. And when it comes to men's mental health, yo, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody, bro. If you want to DM me, bro, DM me. I'll be your therapist. Literally, I love psychology. I'll talk to somebody for hours on end. Literally, talk to me. Just work on yourself. Work on yourself every single day. Read. Do something. Go out. Do a hobby. Do something. I know we stay in the limbo of working, getting the money, doing this. Of course, we have to work. We have to get the money because the bills got to be made, got to be met. But have that day that you're gonna be like, yo, this is a day where I'm gonna calm down, woosah, meditate, go work out, lose your mind, like go zen. And when the whole Johnny Depp case, like that it hit home because when the Johnny Depp case, like for Amber Heard to hit him, and then flip it on him, like he was the one that was hitting her. Like it hit home because when I went through the court case, I presented myself, and I must say it was a victory. It really was a victory. I wish I could show you your documents, but I'm not gonna get into no legal battles with nobody. You feel me? But we went into court. She presented my case. She was like, "You domestic violence, blah blah. You hit her, blah blah." Nah. Where's the proof? No pictures. No pictures in sight. It was only she caught me for stalking. Stalking? No, I didn't stalk her. How would I know where she lives? Like how she literally came back to Miami like 2 weeks prior, back when I moved back because her mom didn't want her over there because she was confused on why she was breaking up with me. So how can I find out where she was gonna be living at? Who told me that information?
Hella beeps in this episode.
Yep, hella beeps. Yo, it's funny, but it's crazy because then third party came into the court and she to her case she stood on it. Like I didn't tell him. Oh, he probably heard it when I told other people. Who's other people? Who other people needed the apartment? Who other people needed the apartment information? Nobody. I was the only one that needed to move out. Who else needed to move out? Me. But whatever. I'm glad I moved into the place I'm living in now. God is a blessing in disguise, and it is what it is. So when it hit home, with a Johnny Depp case. I proved my case. Boom, no proof that pictures, nothing. And then the stalking, it was like, okay, damn, it kind of sucks because he's like moving into the same place as her. So I get that. I really do get that part. But he wouldn't have gotten that information if it wasn't for. She looked at my record. This guy has no record. You see me doing this? This guy has no record. So he's like clean. Like, why would I mess up his record if he has a restraining order? And I looked up the judge. She was aiming more so the women's case. Like she always aimed for the woman always wins, blah blah. Like I've seen the percentages. I was like, damn, it's gonna be a tough battle. And I literally, bro, one of my friends, she helped me, and it was phenomenal. She literally helped me what to say, what to do. Like it was my first time going to court because it was like, why are you gonna go through all that of us dealing with each other through all that up and down and you did this for me, I did this for you, and to go through court.
Yeah. For something that should have just been like, hey, like she should have just straight up told you, I don't want you to move in here. I'm sorry that my friend gave you the information. It doesn't make me feel comfortable. Like, just don't do it. That would have been it.
Right.
You know what I mean? That would have been sufficient. But then to go and do all that extra shit is just like that.
Yeah, because she's done it before. She's done it to her ex-boyfriend. So why wasn't she doing it to me? So I done it before. So let me do it to him. Let me fuck up his life. And it's like, yo, that literally will fuck up my life. That would literally stay on my record to the day I die.
It's so crazy how similar situations we've been through in life.
So how I won the case was not that I won. We both kind of like not won, but she kind of like lost. I more so won. Is I proved my case. I proved my innocence. Like I got messages between me and this girl of her friend, the third party. I showed the case, had screenshots because screenshots don't lie. You could Photoshop or whatever, but I could literally give my judge the phone and be like, no, it's literally here. Like here's the DMs, here's everything. But I have everything printed out, had everything professional. Boom, prove my case. And she was, yo, the judge was like literally like, this is like some like little kid drama. So what I'm gonna do is he looks like he wouldn't like literally find out where you live out of the blue. Like he wouldn't be a psychic. This girl literally told him.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you an injunction. And I don't know what the hell an injunction was at that moment. I did not know. I was like, an injunction? Yo, what the hell is that? It's gonna stay on my record forever. When she said injunction, I was like, what the hell? I gotta do time. What I gotta do? Like I was spooked. I was like, what the hell? I was shaking in my chair. And she goes, what it is you're gonna stay away from her for a whole year. From this day on point on, you cannot go to the place that she works. You cannot go within 50 or 500 feet within her vicinity. You cannot go to the place that she works out. Basically, if she's there, you cannot be there for a whole year. You know what I said? Yep. Do it. Where's the papers? Type of thing.
And honestly, like,
not if she gonna put me through all that, I was
not
like,
for anything, not for anything, but that was probably the best thing that could have happened. Because on top of the fact that that's fucked up,
it's true
that you're gonna lie about that shit, because women will literally do that. They will literally lie about shit that happened to protect their self-image and to pretend like there's something they're not.
Right.
But the fact that you were forced to stay away from her for a whole year, that meant that she couldn't even contact you either.
Not at all.
You feel me? So like at that point, she just fucked it up for herself. And who knows? Maybe she didn't want to see you.
No, but out of the whole year, I only saw her once. And guess where I saw her? At Club Space. And what I did, and she could tell you, if you know her, I looked at her. My boy was like, "Yo, you can stay, bro. It's been like 6 months already. Like, bro, don't just stay. Like, she's in case she's not gonna say anything." You know what I did? It was already like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. I was like, you know what? I'm leaving. I saw her. I'm like, all right, I'm out the door. And I left because it was still 6 months. It wasn't a year yet. I wasn't gonna disobey the orders that was met with the judge and what I agreed on. Because she could literally be like, yo, he's here.
Yeah.
And they go wrap me up, put me in handcuffs. I'm going to jail.
Yeah, take your ass to jail.
Nah, I wasn't playing with it. I literally wasn't playing it. And then the year after, when the injunction ended, where if she was someplace that I could stay, do whatever I want, I saw her once, looked at her, did my thing, and she did her thing. Like it was like that disrespect for me was, damn, you put me through all that they're all, and it fucked with me mentally, and I just kept letting people think whatever they are. I kept letting people know your side of the story, literally your side of the story. So I was like, damn, he's not really defending himself. He's not really saying the side of the story. I'm like, what for? It's nobody's business but me and hers. Like, what am I gonna tell you? Let you think whatever you want. If you think,
And it's kind of what we were talking about earlier and what Des said about the fact that when it came to Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's whole case, like he literally let that go on.
you let
He
it go
got
on.
dropped from movies. Like people looked at him differently.
Yup.
Everybody was talking shit
As
about
soon as
him.
people say Johnny Depp hit a girl, boom, he's a man. Yup, it's true. He's a man. Definitely he would do it. Definitely.
Yeah. But you just gotta be patient with those things.
You
You
gotta
feel me? Like you gotta be patient with that shit.
patient, literally.
You gotta be patient with those things because at the end of the day, and it's me going through not that drastic of a situation, but something sort of similar where people claim that I did something and it's literally the whole other way around and it's just a
Right.
lot of flipping and manipulation and all that bullshit. Is like I don't gotta tell my side of the story because I
don't.
promise you the truth will always come out.
It would always come out. It
The
could take
truth
years.
will always come
Gonna
out.
come out. It's
The
gonna
truth will
come
always
out.
come out. And when it comes out, it's gonna come out. But it will.
It will come out.
But it will. And people could pretend to be whoever they wanna be. And the same people that are there like defending them and thinking that, you know, their side of the story is all true and all this shit, they're gonna also find out for themselves.
And as a man, it fucks with you mentally because it's like, okay, this man is literally letting her say all these things about him, and he's not really defending himself. So it's like, okay, it is true. He was really hitting her. He was really doing something to her for her to have a restraining order. And it was only because I was trying to move into the same facility. That's where I know I was wrong at. And I was just, in my mind, I was just trying to, fix the relationship. Out of 4 going on 5, you crazy. Who wouldn't want to fix that
Yeah,
relationship? Because
of
we
course.
did a lot for each other. So who wouldn't want to save that relationship? So it fucked with me mentally. It really did. And I moved on past it. It took me a few years. And it made me a better person. It made me look at a different perspective. It's like maybe she needed more healing. Maybe I was just a part of her life that was just to be her hero.
And probably she did. I mean,
From our
you
past
said
relationship.
that. Yeah, exactly. Like she had just gotten out of a toxic abusive relationship, and like that's a lesson that I learned too because I
Right.
was in a very similar situation. And it's just like you live and you learn because at that point now you know that if that would have happened, you should have been like, hey, like I fuck with you, I like you a lot, we have a great vibe going, but you need that time and you need that
Right.
space to heal from it.
And grow.
And same with me. You feel me? So it's like
Right,
not
nobody's perfect.
nobody's perfect, and like there's so many things that you can blame on each other. At the end of the day, it's just about taking accountability and accepting things for what they are. Be a fucking man and woman of your word. Maintain your character, maintain your honor, and the moment that you're losing that, like just let it go because ain't nothing that fucking worth it. I mean, that fucking video that you sent me, I saw some video on Twitter of this girl literally trying to run over her fucking, I'm guessing her ex-boyfriend, running him over,
Yup.
literally crashing into buildings.
Into buildings, running into him, like it's insane.
Crashing into
Like,
fucking buildings. Like,
I'll put the link right here.
that shit's nutty. And that just goes back to the topic of mental health. Like, I feel like
It needs to be talked more. Talk to somebody.
I feel like we live and we learn a lot of shit, and like things happen for
People are so caught up in their egos, though. That's
Yeah.
why a lot of men, mostly men, are so caught up in their egos. It's like, I don't want to talk because they're gonna judge me. Who gives a fuck if they judge you? Who are they to judge? They have their own battles that they're dealing with. Talk to
shit.
somebody.
Everybody got some shit that they do, bro. Ain't nobody perfect.
No one.
What's that shit that the abuelita says in the Bad Bunny song? Todos son
You're testing me right now.
cuando damn, what's that? Damn, we're gonna have to come back to that one. Todos son santos cuando hablan de los pecados
Oh,
ajenos.
oh, the guy in
Exactly.
Effecto, the last part.
Yeah.
Okay. I know
Exactly. And
That's
it's like,
funny.
I don't know, bro. One thing I learned from just like living life, having friendships, being in relationships, making mistakes myself, because again, I'm not a perfect person.
Me either.
I've gotten out of character. I've done a lot of shit that I regret. But the one thing that I will never ever not do is admit my fuck ups and admit when I'm fucking wrong.
Exactly. Have accountability.
Exactly. That's the only thing that you gotta keep in life. Your fucking word, your fucking character, and your honesty. You feel me? Your
But
honesty.
with the whole mental health, and I know it affected Johnny Depp mentally heavy.
Yeah, absolutely.
She literally hooked up with James Franco. Like how you're trying to save a marriage, you're trying to work on things, but you're hooking up with another star. How is that working?
Man.
And then it's just it could go on and on and on and on.
That's the thing too.
It could
That's
go
the thing too, because you're working on a relationship, you're trying to save your marriage, whatever. No couple and no marriage is fucking perfect. And there's gonna be times where shit's gonna get toxic, shit's gonna get hard. We're constantly evolving, we're constantly changing. Sometimes we grow faster than other people. Shit fucking happens. But if two people decide, hey, we're gonna do this, we're gonna try, we're gonna work for our marriage, we're gonna fight to make it work,
Then
and
be
then
real, be honest about
and then you're
it.
doing shit behind his back
Because you don't want to hurt their
with
feelings.
a colleague. Because James Franco is also an actor.
And he's also an actor.
You feel me? With a fucking colleague that I'm sure they all know each other.
You know, she took pictures of him while Johnny Depp was asleep, and he had like a spilled shake or something. Why are you taking pictures of your husband to help him, and then sends the same picture to her friend and says, "This is what I have to deal with." And you, bro, it's just this girl. She just irks me, and it irks me because it reminds me of my past situation. Like, just the lies and deception, trying to play the victim is it's stupid. It really is. So she went to the hospital, and she said it was the document said it was a headache, and of course she was said, "Oh, I went to the hospital that day because I had a concussion because he beat my face in and my teeth in." But then the next day there was photos of her with makeup all at an award show. The dates line up, and if you don't know, if you can't tell what day you lied to help the other lies, because when you lie, you have to cover up lies with other lies,
Yep.
and it keeps on and keeps on and keeps on until it blows up. And why lie? Be honest. You could lie about certain things, like trying to hide or surprise. No, I don't know nothing. I'm not trying to be in the middle. I don't know nothing, like a surprise or something little, like something not hurtful. But to lie about serious things, about something that's gonna hurt somebody's feelings.
Why do you think she did it though? Why do you think why do you think, knowing that she was the perpetrator and everything, because like I'm not gonna say that Johnny never fucked up. I'm sure he did.
I'm sure he did.
I'm sure he did.
There was a video of him and at the court of him slamming doors, slamming cabinets. He pouring himself a mega pint of wine. And was like, I'm out of here. Like he wasn't beating her in the video. He was just destroying the place, and the place wasn't even his. It was literally her place.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna say that he never got out of character.
Right.
But at the same time, if you are the one putting your hands on a person and the other person is getting out of character for it, why are you gonna try to now, knowing the facts, knowing that you can possibly, like, knowing that Johnny could possibly have proof to actually show the judge, show everybody that it was actually you who did all this shit? Why take it that far? Why take it to that extent?
And she only had one picture to show for that exact moment. She went to the hospital, and it was a bruise on her bicep or something. And she said she got hit in the face. And in the picture, she shows her face, and it was unmarked. You're not following up with your pictures. She was trying to say, "Oh, yeah, there's pictures. I don't know where it is right now because it's somewhere in my files." Like, okay, show her your pictures. Show the file. It was she was just lying after lying after lying after lying. Like she literally told Johnny Depp in a corner, said, "Who will believe a man, a victim of domestic violence?" And it's true. Like to this day and age, people be like, "Yeah, what man would let a girl beat him up?" Like a domestic violence victim. That's crazy. And Johnny Depp stood up, and for the guys that never stood up before, and he made an impact in the world. There was a lot of people who were watching this case. There was a lot of people following up week after week.
But you know he was smart not to beat her ass up.
He was smart
Because, bro, somebody puts their hands on you, and it takes so much to not beat them up. So much to not whoop their asses. But he was smart, and I applaud him for that.
He might have not that he might have said it. He said it along the lines of unquote, "I will fuck her and burn her corpse." Yeah, he was out of line. I was out of line for saying that, but it was out of frustration of what was going on behind closed doors. We don't know what we can't have a picture on it. They only know the picture. Yeah. We only know what they're telling us. And at the end of the day, Johnny Depp won. And now Amber Heard, you're in debt.
That part.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, though. Happy Pride. Yeah, it's actually Men's Mental Health Month, and it's also Pride Month. But we're going to take a little break. Once we come back from the commercial break, we'll talk about Pride Month. We'll get a little discussion going. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys in a few. And we're back from the break, guys. Thank you so much for staying tuned in. Again, my name is Ling.
My name is Alan.
And this is the ICY Scoop.
Ice.
Like we were talking about right before we took our break, it is Men's Mental Health Month, but it is also Pride Month. And I feel very blessed that as a lesbian woman, I live in the 21st century where I actually have rights. Right. Not in every state, of course. Mm-hmm. Not every state recognizes gay marriage. We're not
actually united, but yeah.
Not every state is as progressive as, not even Florida, because Florida is pretty, conservative, crazy. I mean, look at our governor. But yep. Miami is a very progressive area. States like New York, California, Colorado, a lot of these states have a lot of laws implemented giving LGBTQ people the rights that they haven't had for a long time. I mean, 50, 60 years ago, even like 20, 30 years ago, like you were gay, you were bi, even trans, and people would look at you different. Like even now, like trans women are one of the highest demographics that get killed. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the life expectancy of a trans woman is around like 35 to 45 years old, which is very young.
I don't know these facts, but keep on going.
That's like half of your fucking lifetime if you really think about it. But I do feel very blessed to live in a time where I can openly love who I love, where I can go out into the streets and dress as who I am, where I can have PDA with whatever partner I'm with and not get beat up or shunned. And not that it hasn't happened before, because there's always people that are ignorant around there. There's always people that...
Not that is still happening today.
Yeah.
Because there is.
Shit, this happened years ago, but I was actually with my friend Steph and two of our other friends, and we went to this club called Manor. It's in Wilton Manors, kind of by like the Fort Lauderdale-ish area.
Never heard of it.
It's like a predominantly like gay club where a lot of gay people go, and like they do like drag shows and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Oh shit.
And we were there, and like obviously it's like a gay club, so it's like for gay men. Mm-hmm. And we were there by the bar, and I'm there with like my friends, and we're all pretty cute girls, and he just like had it against us. Like he threw a drink at my friend.
What?
And yeah, he was like basically like jealous that we were there, like taking the attention away from like the man. And it's like, bro, like we're on the same, like we're not on the same team, but we're allies. You feel me? Like we're not trying to, like, we're obviously gay women, like we're not here for your men. You can keep the men. You can keep the dick. We don't want it. We want the pussy. But it's shit like that happens still. But there's definitely been progress made. I think
a lot of acceptance, more accepting.
I think there's definitely a long way to go. Cause you go to states like fucking Idaho or freaking Montana or something, and like I don't know, they might fucking lynch me there for looking how I look. You feel me?
Right.
So
a lot of straight dudes get judged for looking good, and they think they're bisexual or gay.
Yeah.
I'm an example.
Type
but
shit.
I support. I had friends in high school that were gay. People judge me for having gay friends in high school. But at the end of the day, I support. If you chose who you want to love, at the end of the day, I support you, because at the end of the day, I'm not the one in the relationship. At the end of the day, I'm not the one with that person. A lot of people, I grew up a Christian. My mom is against it. A lot of Latina moms, they're against it and stuff. So you grew up with that, and she's telling you,
it was hard for me coming out. Like coming out was super hard, bro. I didn't even get the chance to come out. Like my parents like caught me with a girlfriend, and so for like 3 years my life was miserable. Like miserable, dude. Like I couldn't sleep with my phone on me. My parents would take my phone away because they thought I was texting my girlfriend. I would go out, and like my dad would like be like looking like what I was doing. It would be like the time when like people would go to Dolphin, and I would like see him snooping on me just to make sure I wasn't with a girl or anything like that. So like for many years, like my dad even told me like I'm gonna kill myself if you're a lesbian.
Oh no.
So that really took a toll on me mentally.
For sure,
and
mentally.
like for like 3 years it was like that. So
you don't want to let him down.
When my parents, no, I hated him for that, because it's like, how are you gonna tell me like that's not like something that I choose? Like I've always low-key have known that I've liked women. And I even went as far as like I had boyfriends obviously like throughout my teenage years and stuff, but before, like when they caught me like being with a girl and stuff, like I would literally get a boyfriend just so I could go out. And like
as a disguise.
You feel me? Like I'm so sorry to all the men's hearts that I broke.
She was broken hearts early
on. I'm so sorry, but it was just what I had to do. You feel me?
It takes a while for a lot of people.
Exactly. So for a long time, like my parents were super against it, and it wasn't until my parents actually divorced that we all had to do like family therapy as part of like the divorce or whatever. Mm-hmm. And the therapist, she actually like took turns talking to like all of us together and then all of us separately. So when I had my one-on-one with the therapist, like she told me about how I was feeling and like just about me. Like she obviously asked me about the divorce and how it was affecting me, but also about me. And I'm like, oh, I'm taking this opportunity. I'm gonna tell her that I'm a lesbian and that my parents aren't accepting me. So thankfully, that therapist talked to my parents, and I told her like how it was making me feel, like how it was affecting me mentally.
Right.
And the therapist really helped me get to my parents' head that this is not a phase. This is who I am. This is who I've always been. It's not going to change, and you just need to accept me. Like, it doesn't make me a bad person. It doesn't mean that, you know, I'm going to freaking hell or anything. And I know a lot of people believe that.
A lot of people, my own mother believes in that.
But, you know, to each his own. Like, you could believe whatever you want. At the end of the day, you're not God. And if you're so holy spirited and religious, you know that the only person that can judge you is God. And judging somebody is a sin. Judgment is a sin. And a lot of things that people do regularly is a sin. Cutting your hair is a sin. Having earrings on is a sin.
Cursing.
Wearing freaking shorts is a sin.
And a lot of people judge
Having tattoos
silently.
is a sin.
A lot of people judge silently too.
Premarital sex is a sin.
Everything.
Divorce is a sin. Like, all of this shit is a sin, but people pick and choose what they deem as, oh my God, this is so horrible, right? So I honestly feel like, yes, there's been a lot of progress, and thankfully me, like, I've gotten to the point where my parents, like, have met my girlfriends, and I've had girlfriends live with me. I've lived with girlfriends, like, they come to parties, like, they're very accepting of it now. So it's definitely was a long road to get there.
Right.
But I know that there are a lot of people that didn't have that same road. I know a lot of people that got kicked out because of who they were. Girlfriends that I've had that been kicked out of their house because their parents didn't accept them.
Right.
You know, girlfriends that I've had that people, friends that I've had that
I know stories too.
Their parents still don't accept until this day, and they're freaking in their mid-20s, almost 30s, and they're still not accepted. So it's hard in that sense because a lot of people live their lives. I feel like especially men, now that we're on the topic, especially men, like when you're a man, you're expected to act a certain way. You're expected to be a macho and big and strong and
take the lead
and provide and all this shit. And
that's a key word, provide.
Unfortunately, a lot of men, like, they go through their entire lives hiding this, like, who they really are, who they truly are, right? And it's so crazy that you look at, for instance, like what we were talking about, like trans violence, and a lot of the men that do engage in sexual relationships with trans women end up killing these women because low-key they are actually into, you know, the LGBTQ community. They're gay or pansexual or whatever they identify as, but they end up killing these women because they're so scared that somebody's gonna find out, so they go and do the fucking unthinkable and kill this person, which is crazy to me, but that's the reality that we live because people don't feel like they can be themselves.
Right.
It drives them to that point of killing somebody else.
I don't know what to say.
It's just kind of freaking insane. But another topic that I want to talk about regarding Pride Month is the way that companies treat Pride Month.
As soon as the month hits, boom, everything's
rainbow flags everywhere.
Everywhere. Let's see what we could market. It's literally all market. It's all about money. They don't really care about the real, like, love. They don't, behind the scenes, like, there's been like stuff about them, like Starbucks. They put their money into like an anti-gay like system, and it was like, this anti-gay, we don't support it. But then Pride Month comes, and then they're all rainbows and stuff. But I don't have any much more to say about this.
I mean, to be honest, I obviously think that it's great that companies, you know, push out that agenda of like, oh, it's Pride Month, let's like be allies and stuff like that. But I feel like the companies that do it with good intentions, kudos to you.
Yeah, there's some companies that do it with good intention for sure.
But I feel like a lot of other companies kind of just see it as a way to make more money. Marketing scheme, like, you don't really care about the LGBT community. Right. Like, what are you really doing other than putting out a product with a rainbow flag? Like, are you advocating for the LGBT community? Are you donating to foundations that help LGBTQ teenagers and people that are in the foster care system or are homeless or don't have the resources, have been kicked out by their parents, don't have nowhere to go? Like, what are you actually doing? Like, where's the action? Because you could say, yeah, Pride Month, rainbow flags everywhere, like, yes, but where's the action? What are you actually doing? Because these companies have hella money, millions of dollars. So you're telling me that you're advocating for Pride Month and then you're not really doing much behind the scenes? Kind of makes you think. Kind of really makes you think. It's also like people that... I was watching this video on YouTube the other day, and it's called The Middle Ground. And it's basically like a YouTube series that gets like different minded people and put them together to like debate certain topics
from different perspectives type of
thing.
Thing?
So this one was specifically liberal children versus liberal parents versus conservative children, right? Okay. So the children were very conservative. A lot of them were like very like pro-war, pro-like life, pro all this stuff. And then the parents were like the ones that were the more like progressive ones, like, oh no, like people should deserve a choice. Like, we shouldn't be spending all this money on all this extra shit. We need to take care of the people here. And there was this one question that it was, does not being an LGBTQ ally make you a bad person? And obviously, like the more liberal people, they were like, yes, it makes you a bad person. And they said it makes you a bad person because how are you going to judge other people? How are you not going to be for other people's happiness? How are you going to sit here and invalidate what life somebody wants to live?
Yeah, how are you gonna tell them how they should live their life? At the end of the day, you're dictating how, oh, this person should be with a man, this person should be with a woman. How
Yeah.
can you tell somebody who to love? If it happens, it happens. But it's the judgment, it's the stigma of growing up. Back in the days, like they were still going on. There were still people back in the day and age nights.
Bro,
It was still going
do
on.
you know that back in the day, in like the Roman and like Greek armies and all these big
You were
armies,
gay, or
they were gayer than people are now. When men would go to war, men would have a boyfriend and a wife. They would have a war husband and a wife. The wife was just for reproduction, and the husband was for pleasure. Because back in those ancient fucking times, men used to have sex, especially going out to war. They're out for months, sometimes
months.
years. They're gonna have sex with each other. It was very, very normal, very, very natural. Many years ago. I'm not exactly sure when this all changed, but obviously it took a turn. Um Definitely maybe like I read some shit about how in the Bible it used to say man shall not lay with child, but the new Bible say man shall not lay with men.
Right.
So that makes a big difference, and obviously people interpret like biblical texts in like their own way, and
Everybody has their own Bible.
it's all interpretation, you feel me? Like, but at the end of the day, it's like, who is anybody else to be so pressed about how other people live their lives? Like, what does a man and another man being happy and in love or doing whatever they're doing, how does that affect you personally? How does that, what do you think about like the people that are like, oh, I don't understand why Disney's adding like gay and lesbian characters into like their cartoons?
At a certain point, I get where they're coming from, but again, like we're going to the modern age. Like, just let them be who the hell they want to be. If they want something, let them have it. If they want to fucking have a boyfriend, let them have a boyfriend. If they don't have a girlfriend, let them have a girlfriend. At the same time, it's just like I don't. It's I grew up differently, and when I grew up, it was like I'm supposed to be with a woman. I'm supposed to be with only a woman. Woman. I got judged because I had friends that some friends came out to me in high school. I kept being friends with them since I was being friends with somebody that was gay in high school. It was like, damn, he's gay, and it fucked with me mentally. It fucked with me mentally too because I know who I like. The girls who I got to know who I really was, and it's just I grew up thinking, damn, like I can't be seeing what I got. Can't do this. I can't do that because it was fucking with me mentally. Then it was started this question: am I really gay? Am I bisexual? Nah, I really am not. I'm like I love women. I love how the way they think. I was raised by my sister. She's literally 2 years younger than me. I was raised by my sister and my mother. Literally, the way I feel about it is just let them love who you love. Like I'm gonna hang out with you. You're literally lesbian. Yeah, she's a girl. She's lesbian. I could sit here with a guy that's gay and still do a podcast. It's literally
Facts, because you're secure about who
I'm
you are.
literally secure about who I am. I know that I could attract men and I know that I could attract women. I got in DMs by men plenty of times. Some of those guys I've known from high school, yeah, I reply back, yeah, we target bullshit, yeah, they flirt, but they know not to have a boundary. But at the same time, let them love who they love. They want to flirt with me. Let them flirt with me. They get off of that fucking, I'm not really entertaining it. But let them love who you love. And that's what I got to say on that matter because I don't know. I really don't.
I just think people need to stop like
Judging.
judging
It's literally
others.
the judgment.
Like if people are gay, then they're gay.
If you want to
You
think I'm
feel
gay,
me? If
I'll
people
say it
are
on
gay, then they're
camera.
gay, and
I'm
if
gay.
people are straight, then they're straight, and whatever.
You want to say I'm bisexual? I'm bisexual. You want to say I'm straight? I'm straight because that's my truth. I'm straight. I'm gay.
I'm gay as
bisexual.
fuck.
I'm trans. I used to be a woman before. Like, I got sexy as hell, you know. But it is what it is. I'm gonna let you think whatever you want. Don't care.
People are always gonna
People always gonna
judge
talk because they
and
look better than you.
think that they know you better than you know yourself. You feel me? But on another note, there's also a lot of people that
Project.
that project, or that they say that they're not gay and they actually are, and then they project that insecurity into other people.
It's crazy.
Or
that
they
you
say that they are gay
It's
and
so
they're not
crazy.
really gay. You feel me?
It's so crazy that you say that because I knew a guy then, like he was one of my friends in high school, and he was one of the boys, you know, and he would say, "Yo, are you?" He asked me the question like, "Yo, like, are you gay? Like, are you actually bisexual?" Because seeing girls and I'm like, "Are you gay?" Like, nah, I'm not gay. Like, I actually like girls. Like, you know, like I don't judge. Like, you can do whatever you want, but like, nah. He goes, "Oh, okay." Bro, years later, comes to find out he's gay.
Yeah.
They're projecting onto you. They're literally projecting. They're putting an image for you to
Or
feel.
maybe he wanted to find out because he thought you were cute.
Come on, I know. It's that I know I'm cute, and I know I attract. This is why I'm gonna say it again, over and over and over again. I know I attract both genders, and that I'm secure about my sexuality. And a lot of women love that shit. They like love that shit. A lot of men be like, don't fuck with that gay shit. Don't come near me, bro. I'm not gonna be friends with you if you come with that gay shit. Like, no.
I think a lot of people, like what you said, the sexuality that they actually possess, like they're not comfortable with it. So they'll go out saying that there is something that they're not.
Right.
And I've witnessed it firsthand. Like, I've been a girl that has dated straight women, bisexual women, gay women, like, and I don't judge women that like who they like. They could be pansexual, they could be whatever, asexual, I don't know. Whatever you
Right.
are, if you like me and I like you, I fuck with you. As long as you respect me and as long as you don't cross any boundaries or just or do anything trifling behind my back. But what gets me is that, especially in Miami, a lot of women are like, "Oh my god, I love pussy and I'm a lesbian. I don't like men."
I woke up the other
And
day
then-
wanting a relationship. I was like, hold up.
And
I
then
live in Miami.
and then you turn around and they're sucking dick or eating pussy, and it's like, I mean,
The truth always comes out.
don't act like something that you're not. You feel me? Like, nobody's gonna judge you for being sexually fluid or liking both genders or liking anybody, whoever. But don't pretend to be somebody you're not, and then act differently about it. I don't know.
Switch.
To each his own, though. But
it is
when
what
it comes
is.
to Pride Month, I don't know. I feel like every year is kind of the same thing when it comes to like this country. Like, I don't really see much changing. I feel like we're going backwards actually, because I mean, look at that bill that the governor of Florida was like backing up, like the "Don't Say Gay" bill, where
Oh, yeah, I
like
saw- yeah. Oh,
where
so that was the bill. The Starbucks was also funding. That was literally the bill I was talking about earlier.
where basically like kids can't like talk to like their teachers about like sexuality or like who they are or anything like that. And
Right.
you know, a lot of kids, they don't have that safe space at home. I was one of those kids. I didn't have that safe space at home
Right.
to talk to my parents and tell them about who I liked and who I truly was, because they weren't accepting me. So that it took a toll on me mentally, and it's something that kind of like still follows me to this day, because this happened like during my prime teen years, from when I was like 13 to like 17 years old, that I was dealing with this, like me and my parents going back and forth. And I think during that time, like, that's the time where you should be able to talk to your parents, you should be able to open up to them, and I never had that. So now that I'm like an adult, like, I don't really have that relationship with my parents where I can open up to them and talk to them about anything. Because during that time, that pivotal point, and as a psychology major, you know that there's certain age like ranges
Certain stages.
where there's trust versus mistrust and all this shit that you're learning,
unlearning.
Get your parents are supposed to show you, like, and when you don't have that, like, that follows you along in life. And I feel like now in hindsight, when I self-analyze myself and I look at those years that I went through, literally like being in my room, like in my head, overthinking, like not feeling good with myself, like not being able to fully accept myself because my parents weren't fully accepting me, not having anybody to really talk to like that, like not feeling comfortable with my own parents. Like now that has made me a big overthinker, and also hard for me to open up to people and really tell them what I think or what I feel or what I'm going through, because I've had to deal with it myself for those pivotal years of my life. And I think back and just realize that a lot of other people that are in the LGBT community, and even people that aren't, might have gone through very similar situations and also feel this way. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. She was talking more about the subject than me because I'm just a supporter.
It's okay, bro. You had the Amber Heard case, because I followed up with the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case, but I didn't really get too much into it. I kind of just saw like a lot of like the videos that they would post on Twitter and social media, but like obviously this like pride shit like hits home to me.
Right, yeah. We decided today I was gonna take over the Johnny Depp case because I related in a way, and she was gonna take over the Pride.
Facts. But you know what? It's kind of like super crazy like that we're talking about pride, because just the mere fact of like celebrating pride, like I've been to like, I think I went to one of the pride events like once at the beach.
I'm not gonna front. I went to one too with my homeboy and my girlfriends that are bisexual, and we went. We had a good time. There was even people hitting on me and hitting on my boys, and we're like, nah, we were just pretending like our girlfriends were actually our girlfriends, but nah, we were there to support.
Yeah, it's a good time. Like it's definitely a really, really good time. I personally, I'm not the one that to like just go every fucking year, because that shit gets messy.
No, I only go once, and that's
it. That shit gets messy, and I'm not trying to be part of that. But I definitely think that as a community, and even people that are not in the community, like they should keep like trying to create that safe space for people to be who they are, even if they might not agree with it for themselves. Like you might not agree for it for themselves, but at least respect other people, because
right.
A lot of people don't realize like you might have a kid that's gay. What are you gonna do?
Exactly.
What do you like? If
I want to bring up Dwayne Wade.
If tomorrow or in a year from now or whenever you decide to have kids, your kid one day wakes up and tells you, "Mom, Dad, I think I'm gay," what are you gonna do? What type of parent are you gonna be?
The supportive one or the one that's kicking them out?
And how is that action? Like really sit down and think. Like if you're watching this, I don't care if you're anti-gay, I don't care if you are an ally, I don't care if you're gay yourself, because there's also a lot of gay people that are very ignorant and they're like, no, I wouldn't want my kid to be gay.
Right.
What would you do? And after you answer that question, think about how would that affect your kid? Because remember,
before anything,
that kid has their own life, their own choices. You chose yours. You chose to be who you were. You cannot sit here and tell your child who to be or what to do or who to love.
At the end of the day, they're going to love who they love. At the end of the day, they're going to have feelings for who they have feelings for. This happens. It's life. They grew up how they grew up. What can you do about it? You raised them how you raised them. And
what you mentioned, Dwayne Wade got so much heat for supporting his daughter.
So much heat for supporting his daughter. And yeah, it's his daughter. Yeah, you could sit there and say, no, that's a little boy. No, it's his daughter. Let's just keep it real. Those are her pronouns. Daughter. He got so much heat, and I love that LeBron was backing him up, supporting him for supporting his own child. Like who wouldn't want to support their own child when they're going through something traumatic? Not something traumatic, but
it is kind of traumatic if you think about it. Like being gay is hard. Being trans, that's a whole nother ballgame.
It's a whole nother ballgame.
Because I personally have trans friends. Izzy, shout out Izzy. She was one of our guests in the Girlology podcast.
Yeah, I follow Izzy, yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Izzy's fucking amazing. You look fucking amazing, girl. Keep that shit up. You look beautiful. I've seen, I've known her for a few years. We were never really close like that, but I've seen Izzy like transition into the woman that she's become, and it makes me really proud because it's hard. It's so hard. Not only the fact that like the transitioning of like the hormones and everything, like that's hard in itself, but also like people looking at you, people judging you, people thinking that there's something wrong with you, because there's people that literally think that that's like a mental health problem.
Yep.
But I don't know, man. I hope that Pride Month isn't just like a month thing. I hope that people actually continue to fight for the rights of the LGBT community, and for all the other communities that are affected in any way, women's rights, men's mental health, all of that shit. All of it is important, all of it is really important, even though, yes, the white man, they're the ones that basically lead and they have all the advantages in this country. But I think that everybody else kind of sort of suffers in their own way. Right. And we all kind of have to work together to just accept each other and understand each other.
Talk to each other more, get comfortable with talking with each other. We were in the modern age where we're always on our phones.
Yeah.
And we're texting people, or we're online on Instagram scrolling. Text somebody. Do something.
Face-to-face interaction.
FaceTime. Make a meetup. Go to lunch. Go do something. Talk about what's going on with you. Because if you just bottle that up,
especially now post-pandemic. Like we spent like almost 2 years like locked in our houses, like barely able to go out. You feel me? And not to say that like people weren't still hanging and shit, but obviously like that social interaction that we were used to wasn't there before. Now, at least here in Miami, I know in some other places like there's still strict rules and stuff like that. But here in Miami, things are sort of back to normal already. I think that people really need to take advantage of being able to be with your friends face to face, being able to hang out with them. Like, we don't know what could happen tomorrow. Like, another pandemic could come. Nope. You feel me? Like, shit. Uno nunca sabe.
Man. Uno nunca sabe. But like, live for today and
plan for tomorrow. Party tonight. Shout out Drizzy. But yo, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. This is episode 3 of the ICY Scoop. Next episode is gonna be a juicy one. Oof. And just wait.
Just stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Thank you for listening. I hope you subscribe. I hope you like. I hope you shout us out. If you have any questions, shoot me a DM. I'm always free. I'm always on my phone. I'm a millennial. Like,
and in no way, shape, or form has this podcast like. Don't nobody take anything personally. We're talking about our experiences.
I'm talking about my experience.
We're talking about deep down what we really think, what we've went through. We're very, very open, laying it out on the table. Again, like we said, everybody has their dirty laundry. Everybody makes mistakes.
Exactly.
All we want to do is put our stories out. All we want to do is tell you guys our perspectives, and we hope that when we start having guests on here, we can get even more perspectives on this.
Hell yeah. I can't wait to bring one of y'all in.
Yeah.
Few of y'all in. I want to.
Hell yeah. No, I already have a bunch of people. I got my girl Shailene. She wants to come in. She has a brand, Aesthetically Rica.
Oh my God.
Shout out to her. Yo, that brand is so fire.
We're going to bring her on for sure. No, we're going to bring her on.
She's going to be like, oh my God, has anybody ever told you look like Bad Bunny? But yeah, we got a few guests lined up, and we're really excited about what's to come for the podcast. Thank you guys so much for the support. We just hit 100 followers on Instagram.
Thank you guys.
That's a little milestone, but it's a big one for us.
It's a big one for us. Yeah, hell yeah.
Subscribe to the YouTube. We just made a TikTok. There's gonna be some stuff dropping on there. Stay tuned. We love y'all.
I see.